We started this project with one intention. We wanted to use brain science to help others live a good life, a meaningful life. I'm well aware we're not the first ones to try to tackle this problem. I mean, in our past, religions and philosophers all tried to give their advice on how to live a good life, although I would say with varying degrees of success. Although one major difference I see today compared to our past is that today, people are turning more and more towards the internet for advice. And the internet is full with bad ideas. There is no quality control. A Google search will net you millions of results. My Facebook feed is littered with ads promising me a better life, money, success, happiness. Many would tell you that you must step out of your comfort zone. Because life only starts when you step out of your comfort zone. Or that the only barrier in between the life you have now and the life you want is some sort of hidden success blocker you have buried deep inside you. So get rid of your limiting beliefs. Wait, I got better advice. You could discover your true self. Or why not unleash the superhero you have buried deep within?
Now talk!
Why don't you just become a superhuman? Or better, why don't you develop an abundance mindset and attract wealth and prosperity with the law of attraction? And please, don't be skeptical, this is absolutely not wishful thinking. Or better, why don't you become a consultant or an entrepreneur? Because becoming your own boss is the only way to live on your own terms. Wait, even better. Become an authority in your field. Wire yourself for success. Become a millionaire. Unlock your full potential. Live life at the fullest. All this has to stop. I think in the best case scenario, the internet is full with just ineffective ideas. I see so many people trying to solve complex life problems with overly simplistic ideas. In the worst case scenario, a lot of advice we find on the internet, I would call it fraud. Because if it's not benefiting you and it's harming you and it's benefiting only that person's pocket, that's fraud. Unfortunately, the coaching and self-development industry in particular are not tightly regulated as other industries. There's no regulation at all. In the 1950s, 7-Up was marketing their soda to infants. Thanks God, that's illegal today. And it's all because we have stricter regulation. But in the coaching industry, I could just sell to you unlimited motivation, success, or waking up each day as if it would be Christmas, and nothing would happen to me. Worst of all, I could be giving you recommendations on how to change your life. I could be speaking to you about healthcare topics while having no knowledge, no certification, no degree in medicine or psychology. I find this to be not only shameful, but to be very dangerous. Because imagine if I am a personal development guru or a new age guru, and I'm followed by millions of people. Imagine the impact I could have on their lives. I could damage millions of people with a toxic idea. Unfortunately, the internet just exaggerates this problem. The internet has become the perfect breeding grounds for fake news, quackery, myths, conspiracy theories. I really feel that something has to be done. And if you're wondering, how could I possibly solve this huge internet crisis problem? Well, just let me tell you a couple of things about myself. I studied cognitive science and neuroscience in university, but since then I haven't stopped studying the human brain. Although, I would be a fool if I would tell you that I clearly understand how our brain works. So many aspects of our brain are still a mystery. If we take a look at our psychology, our behavior, our motivation, these topics are very complicated. So when I left university, I had many more questions than answers. Although, I think I learned a couple of things that are priceless. The first thing I learned is the scientific method. So instead of speculating, what we should do is to formulate a hypothesis, then collect data, analyze that data, and only then trying to make an educated guess. The second thing they taught us is that if we want to develop an intervention with the aim of improving somebody's life, and we ask that person to make lifestyle changes, well, that intervention can't be based on speculation. It has to be based on empirical evidence and hard science. So, for example, certain schools developed extracurricular educational programs for their kids. The problem here is that these schools realized decades later that those programs not only failed, those programs harmed their kids. So my point here is, if you're not using the scientific method, if you're not using empirical evidence, how do you know you're not harming somebody? So this is what we did. We created an online course called The Art and Science of Living Better. It took us more than 2 years of research. It's evidence-based, rooted in brain science, and still very accessible. My promise is that you won't have to step on bullshit or harm yourself with toxic ideas. You could take the first module for free and only then decide if you want to buy the whole thing. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about what in my opinion are the most harmful toxic ideas that are plaguing the self-development industry, you can enroll in our newsletter. We just created a new video series in which I will be uncovering some of the biggest lies and deceptions you have been fed on topics like success and money, or motivation and willpower, stress and failure. So keep an eye on that. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.